We do have a quorum. Can we get somebody to move the approving
I'll
meeting
approve
minutes?
the minutes.
I'll second.
Second. All those in favor?
Hi.
Hey, I'm in the IDA meeting on August.
Okay, bills and communications.
I handed out a revised schedule of payments at each person's place this morning. The addition is, there's an additional payment to Walter's office. It's a pass-through legal fee related to the North Branch Cider Mill
Cider Mill.
project. Yep. We closed with that project on Friday.
I got you, thanks.
Can I get a motion?
This is on the bills.
Yeah.
North Branch Cider Mill legal fee was paid direct.
To us.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, the check was, we found out later, was written to us. So we're gonna write a check to you.
Very well. I could get them to replace the check. That's
It was
fine.
kind
Sorry to interrupt.
Probably easier for us to do it than for you to get them to replace it.
Yeah,
Need a motion to approve.
I do.
I'll make it.
Scott, second.
We can
Carol, all those in favor?
Hi.
Look forward to getting paid twice, but can't pull it off.
Okay. Staff report.
No changes or additions. The report mentions that we're working on the draft budgets for all three agencies, so we will send you drafts within coming days. And then we will ask for your approval at the October meeting, which is a week late this year, as it often is due to the Columbus Day holiday.
Okay, we have a bunch of resolutions.
First one I have is partnership funding. And this would be in accordance with our agreed funding level of 25,000 per calendar quarter, subject to being approved each quarter.
Can I get a motion? Carol,
I'll second it.
second. All those in favor?
Hi.
The second one is the sales tax abatement for the Thompson 3 project.
Yes, it's, this is a project that is owned by True Green Capital Management. And I've been stopping by periodically, and it's still mid-stage of construction, but I expect it will be interconnected by the end of the year.
How about a motion? Carol? I'll get a second, Scott. All those in favor?
Hi.
All right,
Okay, third resolution, extending the sales tax abatement period for the New York Liberty 2 project.
Same status, it's in progress, but much further along than the Thompson construction, and it certainly will be interconnected by the end of the year.
I'll move it.
Can I get a second? Carol?
I'm gonna put down Carol moved it, just for,
Consistency.
yeah,
And Scott seconded.
I got Howard.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Fourth resolution, extending a sales tax abatement period for Empire Resorts Real Estate 1 LLC, which is the golf course?
So I played it on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
They have spared they have top notch.
Yeah.
They spent a fortune,
That's true, based on their,
an absolute fortune.
is it still a monster and difficult?
There's 5 tee boxes. I played from the one behind the ladies. The one, not the seniors, because there's one in front of them. And then there's the seniors, there's the ladies or women, I guess, whatever. And then there's 2 more. And then there's 3 more. And the par 5s on the 3 more, 600 yards. I said, On the fives, where I played, it was like 4 8s. In other words, what's the purpose? You know, but it was immaculate, and there's no, I mean, they take care of it beyond, and right down to they bring you hot towels. I mean, it's expensive. And so then they're not gonna do a lot of tournaments here. They'll do a few, but they're really, they want 50, 60 people a day. That's it. I mean, they're quite a
So is that
conversation.
a motion?
Yes, a long-winded one.
How far are they from completion?
They're done. The
Oh, it
three
is?
holes have a little bit of issue, but just water, and they're not perfect, but they're done. They have all 18.
But they don't have much of a clubhouse yet.
No, but what they do is they have the clubhouse in the older, then they take you down by shuttle, and then there's bathroom facilities, a bar, restaurant right there. So they just need to make it a little bit bigger.
There's still park path only?
No, only on those wet 3 holes. Yeah, but they have GPS in every cart, so if you get close or in trouble, you can't go, gotta back up.
Shut the car off.
Yep, shuts the cart right off. Evidence by one time when we got close.
Is there a second to
So
Howard's
Howard
motion?
moved it, who's gonna second it?
I'll do it.
Scott? Okay, all those in favor?
Hi,
Fifth resolution, extending a sales tax period for Empire Resorts Real Estate 2 LLC,
I don't have that one.
which is that.
No, that's still the golf course.
It's that's the
Oh, you did
clubhouse, the
them
construction of it.
together, right.
Yeah,
That's
they
the
submitted a
Alder
single
Hotel,
request for
that's
two
the Alder
projects.
Hotel,
Right.
which is a different project where they're putting the golf course facility in the hotel as opposed to a separate big
Which
club.
they've done, so it should almost be done, I would think, but I'll, for consistency, I'll do that one.
You move it, Scott, you
Okay.
second? Yeah.
Okay, all those in favor?
All right.
Sorry, Scott seconded that?
He did, Howard and Scott.
Okay, a resolution consenting to the assignment of BRR Brothers 3 LLC.
So just a real quick one, he sold everything?
I'll explain,
Okay.
because I wish it was that simple, but it isn't. We've never been faced with the question we're faced with this request. We've had real estate companies and operating companies that were commonly owned where both have been sold. Some examples would be, like Mama Says, became Noni's, a couple of times on the storage project on Route 52, Kenny D's store. Here, when we dug in and asked more questions, what we found out is that the real estate company is being sold, but that the two tenants of the real estate company, one of which is an IDA counterparty called Sullivan County Fabrication, the other of which is called Supermarket Parts Warehouse, are not being sold. So I went over this, Jen and I gave it a lot of thought, and it's our recommendation that a consent is logical, but it's not logical to continue to give this project the manufacturing tax abatement that they would get, because the manufacturer is no longer going to be involved with the agency, they're just a tenant. So what we had discussed among ourselves was, if they had come to us in the beginning and said, we would like to take a abandoned chicken farm and adaptively reuse it as something else, the board would have quite confidently said, sure, but they would have gotten the general abatement schedule, not the manufacturing schedule, which is much more generous. So the resolution provides for consent, but it provides that as a condition of consent, and Paul's not here, but I did what Paul asked. I rolled it forward from infancy to where we are now in the resolution. If you go to section 6C, on about the 8th page, the pilot agreement is a condition commencing with the pilot payment due in February of 2024 and thereafter would be based upon the agency's general tax abatement policy. They wouldn't get the enhanced reduction for being a manufacturer because the manufacturer will no longer be involved with us. So I know that's a little bit more of an explanation than
No, I think it's necessary though.
Yeah,
That answers your question.
It does,
The real estate is being sold only.
right.
Whoever now owns, and Butch has a minority interest or majority interest, I don't know if he owns 100% or not, but
Of the supermarket.
Supermarket Parts Warehouse and Sullivan County Fabrication, which is the gondola supermarket shelf robotic manufacturing facility, they're gonna become tenants. The amount of the mortgage that has been approved by Ulster Savings Bank is based upon an appraisal of the building, 75% of the appraised value of the building. The amount outstanding is more than $600,000 more than that. So even though the documents will be clean new documents with an IDA mortgage recording tax exemption affidavit, they could have done the same thing by just assigning the existing mortgages. It would just be more complicated than we want to deal with. We'd rather have it be straightforward and simple. So there's about 4 million due in round numbers. The new mortgage with Ulster Savings Bank is about 3,200,000. I think it's 3,203, which is 75% of the appraised value. They wouldn't lend more than that. So somebody has got to come up with
some money.
some money at the closing.
Also, they owe the county $8,000. The 23 taxes aren't paid on either of the lots.
Yeah,
I mean, it'll come out of the closing, but
the 23 taxes, it's fortunate for the county that the only taxes are the fire district, because we have the ability to make them pay the pilot payment. We have more clout than the county does.
Yeah.
So the pilot payment is made, but the real estate tax payments for special districts are not made. There's no way the bank is closing with them with those open.
exactly.
But there's no money, that's $8,000.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not a lot of money.
No, I don't mean that we should get paid.
Exactly.
Oh, and then the other thing, which the board can modify to the extent they wish to, we have over time charged a consent fee, which is ranged between 1 year and 2 years of rent payments. And in this instance, the resolution provides for a consent fee of $5,000, which is 1 year's rent. You could charge more than that or less than that. That is consistent with some prior assignments. But in some cases where the rent was low, we charged more than 1 year of rent to get it up to a 5,000 consent fee, because there's a lot of work that Jen and Julio and Bethany need to do because of the
So we should
parties.
stay consistent if we're up to the 5,000.
Yeah, we haven't charged less than 5,000, but we have charged 2 or 3 times the annual rent where we need to get to 5,000. Like on, I think it was, Noso Posto, it was 2,500. We charged
Yeah,
2 years.
well, we're fortunate then in this situation to charge the one up to the 5,000.
5,000's okay? All right.
And based on the fact that people are failing around us left and right.
Okay,
So we need someone to make that
need a
resolution,
motion, yeah?
a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Yeah, I'll second. Scott seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anything else other than we have executive session?
We have public comment.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Public comment. I'm looking right at you. I'm getting old, what can I say?
Are we lucky? You're getting that way.
Got a good paid assistant.
No, I have nothing to say right now.
And so why are we going into executive session?
I think it's the lit-
Put it on there if we need it for,
Oh, it was on-
for litigation.
We can go into executive session, just update the board. It'll take 2 minutes. And then Ken, we're gonna have a Sullivan County infrastructure meeting after, but no actions can be taken. Correct? Maybe pay a bill,
Just pay bills and minutes, yeah. Okay,
and we'll explain why when we get into it.
We're gonna have executive.
Yeah,
I'll make a
and it's litigation,
I'll second the motion.
About year one, right?
year one, yeah.
Year one litigation.
And that's supposed to mention.
We are.
Are,
Yeah, we said, we mentioned it.
Yeah, but it was like an afterthought, it was not part of the resolution.
Well,
Public comment,
Our
Yeah, but-
secretary is so adept.
right.
But
Listen, public comment was an afterthought, but we saved it.
Walter, that's what the law says, there's a case law on it.
It doesn't say it has to be in one sentence, it can be in two.
No, that's why I get paid big bucks, but I was the right bucks. Let me know when you're.
So,
I'm sorry.
Last word.
Yes.
Um,